They made fun of my size, so I ended humanity. My name is Ian, and all my life, they called me a mistake. I wasn't born, I was blamed. My mother died bringing me into this world, and my father made sure I never forgot it. They didn't see a child, they saw a curse, a walking grave marker, the last breath of a woman they actually loved. My own family didn't raise me. They tolerated me. Every look was disgust, every word was venom. And when I stepped outside, it was no different. Half man, fun-sized freak, walking growth defect, little goblin, pocket monster, the world's biggest accident in the smallest package. I heard it all. I smiled. I swallowed it. I survived. But high school was the crucible. I made it that far, barely, until one day, it snapped. It was the usual, shoved into lockers, books thrown across the hall, nicknames sharp enough to scar. Look, it's Humpty Dumpty's ugly cousin. Yo, Ian, Disneyland called. They want their rejected dwarf back. Careful, someone might step on you. Yo, Ian, how the fuck do you wipe your ass after taking a shit? I guess you don't, that explains your awful smell. That day, something in me shifted. I realized I wasn't the broken one. They were. Humanity wasn't superior. It was diseased, rotten, cruel by design. And I knew then it wasn't me who had to go. It was them. So I smiled back, said nothing, and made a promise to myself. I will not be their victim. I will be their extinction. I studied. I obsessed. Human biology, genetics, neurology, everything that makes people tick, and everything that makes people break. My father kicked me out the day I turned 18. No money, no future, no name, but hate makes a man invincible. I worked, scholarship after scholarship, honor after honor, climbing out of the gutter they buried me in. By 27, I had letters before my name, PhD, doctor, a master of the human body, and its weaknesses. While they laughed, I calculated. While they thrived, I built. And from 27 to 30, I created something the world would never see coming. A weapon, silent, invisible, fatal, engineered to spare the ones they spat on, the ones they mocked, the ones they stepped over, and target the rest. By 30, I held their future in a vial. And in the silence of my lab, as the final batch cooled beneath the glass, I smiled and quietly said, "It's not my size that's the problem, it's yours." And in that moment, the clock began to tick. Because for once, I had all the power. I had the final say. I had what would bring humanity to its knees the next day. My sister broke my phone, so I sold her to the mafia. My sister Sophia was the golden child. Straight A's, varsity cheerleader, the apple of my parents' eye. I was just the moody art kid who spent too much time on my phone. But that phone was my lifeline, my connection to the world outside our suffocating suburban bubble. I'd saved for 9 months to buy that iPhone Pro. Did every shitty side gig imaginable, babysitting bratty kids, walking aggressive dogs that bit me, even selling plasma twice a week until I got turned away for low iron. The day I finally bought it was the proudest of my life. Then came Sophia's accident. We were by the pool last summer. She was showing off for her friends as usual, doing handstands in the water while they squealed. I was minding my own business, texting my girlfriend. She lost her balance, and splash, my brand new phone was at the bottom of the deep end. Her crocodile tears worked instantly on our parents. It was an accident. She didn't mean to. Meanwhile, I got lectured about being too attached to material things. The final straw came when I found out she'd done it on purpose. Her Snapchat story that night showed her laughing with her friends. LMFAO just drowned my loser brother's phone, whoops. I waited 3 months for the perfect revenge. It started with me borrowing her laptop to do homework. A few key lockers later, I had all her passwords. I created fake social media profiles, started flirting with older men online as her. When one turned out to be connected to the Bratva, I saw my opportunity. The deal was simple. $50,000 cash, no questions asked. They thought they were getting a willing participant for their modeling agency. The look on Sophia's face when they grabbed her outside the mall, priceless. Now my parents have missing posters all over town. I bought myself a new phone with the first $1,000. Sometimes at night, I pull up the encrypted messages from my contact. Last update said she's working in a Dubai nightclub. A year later, a battered Sophia shows up at our door. She's missing teeth, covered in bruises. Our parents sob as they take her in. That night, I slipped sedatives into their wine. The Bratva contact was happy to take her back. No refunds on damaged goods after all. He fed me peanuts, knowing I was allergic, so I sewed his nuts to his forehead. In high school, I was the quiet kid, stayed out of trouble, minded my own business, but that never stopped Marcus, your textbook meat-headed bully, from making me his personal entertainment. Marcus thought life was a joke, and worse, he thought allergies weren't real. Every day it was something. Stolen lunches, tripped in the hallways, dumb pranks that weren't funny to anyone except him. But nothing came close to what happened that day. See, I'm deathly allergic to peanuts. Everyone knew it. Teachers, students, even cafeteria workers. I always carried my EpiPen, because one mistake, and it was game over. Marcus, he saw it as an opportunity. The day started normal, until after third period. I left class for a few minutes, and that was all it took. Marcus stole my EpiPen from my bag. Then during lunch, he swapped my usual jam sandwich for a peanut butter and jelly. I took one bite. My throat closed up, my chest locked, my vision blurred. I collapsed right there on the cafeteria floor, gasping, choking, while everyone panicked. Next thing I remember, I woke up in a hospital bed. 1 year later, a coma. I had been gone for a whole year. The school said it was an accident. My mother blamed herself, thinking she mixed up the lunches. Nobody had answers. Everyone moved on, except me. When I returned, Marcus was different. Gone was the cocky smirk. He smiled at me, helped carry my books, treated me like a friend. But I knew the truth. He wasn't sorry because he cared. He was sorry because he got away with it. So I smiled back, because I had a plan. My father owned a private hospital, newly built, barely operational. No patients, no cameras, no questions. I asked my dad to let me and some friends have a sleepover there. He agreed. That night, I invited Marcus along with a few mutual friends. Everyone thought it was just a hangout, until my dad left. Then, the fun began. Marcus woke up strapped to a surgical table, surrounded by a team of the finest, unlicensed, underqualified specialists I could find. By morning, Marcus had a new look. Let's just say, his ego wasn't the only thing attached to his head anymore. My friends, shocked. The school, speechless. Me, finally, at peace.
What made you go on your villain arc? My cousin was 14. Shy kid, quiet, obsessed with drawing monsters, the kind with sad eyes and too many teeth. He didn't bother anyone, didn't know how to lie or even curse properly. He went on a school trip, overnight, first time away from home. He was nervous but excited. Packed 2 sketchbooks and a flashlight he didn't need. He never came back. The boys in his cabin thought it would be funny to dump boiling water on him while he was sleeping. Said they saw it on TikTok. Thought he'd just scream and run. He did scream. He ran too, straight into a wall, skin hanging off him like wet paper. They filmed it, posted it online before they even called a teacher. I saw the video before I got the phone call. 3 days in the ICU. 2nd and 3rd degree burns over 60% of his body. He didn't die from the burns. He died from the fever, from the pain. The school said it was horseplay gone wrong. The boys got suspended for 2 weeks. 2. No charges. No arrests. Their parents showed up with lawyers and crocodile tears. One mom said, "These boys have futures." I wanted to scream. Instead, I listened. Watched. I showed up at the memorial. Said nothing. Hugged my aunt. Stared at the boys across the lawn, all dressed in suits and fake guilt. They didn't even look scared. I didn't make a list. Didn't draw out a plan. Just one name. The ringleader. The one who poured the pot. I followed him for 9 days. Didn't get close. Didn't spook him. Just waited. He was careless. They always are when the world protects them. On day 10, he left school early. Told his friends he was getting a haircut. Stopped for gas on the way. I parked beside him. Waited until he stepped out. He looked right at me, squinting, like he half recognized my face. I didn't give him time to think about it. I pulled the trigger once, right in the chest.